Hello and welcome back to CERECworld 2016. I'm your host, David Temple. Is this perhaps one of the most handsome group of guys you've seen yet?
Yes.
I mean, I would agree with that statement.
Okay, good. I like that. I mean, Darin O'Brien, August de Oliveira, Frank Brown, and Doug Shulz. Welcome to our panel this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's talk CEREC Guide 2. How about it? And August, would you like to kick things off for us?
Yeah, I mean, CEREC Guide 2 is really, I think, in my opinion, one of the greatest things to happen to guided surgery. As CEREC users, we pride ourselves on same-day dentistry. And one drawback with guided implant surgery is we bring a patient in, we diagnose the patient for an implant, we got to wait a week or so to get our guide back, then bring the patient back. With CEREC Guide 2, I can take a patient, mill out a guide, place the implant the same day, and especially in the case with an immediate implant, I can have a patient break off a tooth, looking like a carnival worker, get the tooth out, put the implant in, make a temporary with material called TelioCAD or the new Anamic material, and they can walk out of my office with a tooth in probably under about 2 hours.
Wow. Darin?
And then a huge cost savings, too.
Oh, yeah.
Over laboratory fabricated guides.
Yeah?
Yeah. Cost savings for us, but not the patient, right?
No, I never pass that on to the patient. You kidding?
I got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Right. So.
No, I mean, and August brings up a good point. You know, historically, even with CEREC Guide 1, there was so many parts and pieces you had to do beforehand. You could do it in the same day, but it took a long time, and it was labor intensive for either my staff or myself. With the CEREC Guide 2, it's much easier to design. You can get a guide fabricated quickly on a broken tooth, and I'm sure all of us have patients that sometimes travel from a great distance. I have some that travel up and down the coast an hour because I'm the nearest, large population center. So they come in with a broken tooth. They'd like to get it done because they've got to drive. It's a 3-hour round trip for them otherwise. So to be able to fabricate everything same day and have them come in, take the tooth out, place the implant, like August said, create a temporary. And now that we've got the temporary in the right position, we know that our final restoration is going to be the same way. So when they come back and after it's integrated, unscrew the temporary, put the final restoration in, and it drops into place with minimal to no adjustments because everything's been designed out start to finish like we've always wanted to do, but now we can do it in the most time-efficient manner for ourselves and our patients.
And Frank, let's talk about, Darin touched on this, the difference between the CEREC Guide 1 and the 2, the evolution.
Yeah, the one is the accuracy is just far superior with CEREC Guide 2. CEREC Guide 1, we would have to work off a model, use thermoplast, and then mill a small little guide that would snap into this thermoplast. And if you didn't snap it in just right and didn't have everything just exactly the way it was supposed to be, you were going to be off and the implant wasn't going to be placed exactly where you wanted it to. A lot of people had a tendency to sort of shy away from CEREC Guide 1 after using it a number of times. CEREC Guide 2 is a totally different animal. I mean, it's as accurate as you're going to get from a laboratory fabricated guide in really less time and with less effort.
I mean, I had to relearn how to take a damn impression again.
I know.
I'd forgotten how.
Did you get therapy for that?
I did.
Yeah.
We do have therapy.
Me too. We're good.
So does anybody ever notice anything different with CEREC Guide 2 than a OptiGuide?
No.
Accuracy?
No.
I mean, we all beta tested it, so I don't know if you remember that our original files were the OptiGuide files.
Exactly.
And so there's really no difference. I mean, I think that we would all agree that you should probably do a few Opti or digital guides before you get CEREC Guide 2.
Oh, for sure.
One thing that's nice about Opti guides and digital guides is there's an angry German technician who's looking over all your stuff and sending you nasty emails saying, hey, do you really want to be in the nerve?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to.
Yes, that's
what I like
wanted.
That's where I wanted it. So I'll move that up a little bit. But with CEREC Guide 2, you're on your own. So if you put the implant in the wrong position, no one's going to tell you, hey, you're going to hurt somebody. So you probably should do, I think at least, 10 Opti guides.
Yeah, just so you've got a second set of eyes on your
Yeah.
If you're not used to placing implants with 3D and integration and guided surgery, having an extra pair of eyes to just check everything out and make sure you're not going to seriously screw something up is nice to have. And then once you've got that comfort zone covered, then you can switch into doing the CEREC Guide 2. The learning curve for CEREC Guide 2 is really very, very straightforward,
it is.
though.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not real complex to learn how to fabricate the guide and make an accurate guide in literally no time.
And Doug, speaking of this, you have some big news out of Boston University.
Yeah, I really had a fun time going to BU and doing some training with the faculty out there. And they just announced, I think yesterday in a news conference, that a fourth-year student placed a CEREC Guide 2 guided implant. And amazingly, it took only a few minutes, just like we've all experienced. Like you put that guided implant in and it's done in under 15 minutes, and then you sit there and you go, okay, what do I do?
I know.
Well, the surgery only took a couple of minutes. Getting the pre-clin check and the blood pressure and getting the anesthetic from dispensary took 4.5 hours like it usually does at the dental school.
Oh, my God. You use anesthetic?
But what I really loved was the oral surgery faculty was really behind her. I mean, they're just really pushing it. The perio faculty was a little, But anyway.
They're so grumpy, those periodontists.
I don't know. What is it?
I don't know.
I had to gum garden all day. You'd be grumpy, too.
Hear the joke? What's the difference between good perio surgery and bad perio surgery?
No.
About 2 weeks.
We could be here all week, I think.
Right.
But we've run out of time. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
David, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
always
you so
awesome
much.
talking to you guys.
All right.
We're going to take a short break and back with more Zero World 2016 right after this.